1 minute until showtime.
Much better.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, from the world's most famous beach, from where beach racing began, it's the Legends of Racing radio show. Live from racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill in Ponce Inlet, Florida. The Legends of Racing radio show. And your host, Buzz McKim.
Thank you very much, everybody. Hope you all are doing well today. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, sir? Tony. Yep.
The late Pat Gonsalves. We're ready to go. Perfect timing.
Well, almost got here on time. Probably 30 seconds late. Little heavy traffic coming out from the Speedway. I was watching the final or the second round of qualifying for the Daytona 200.
All right.
And it was intense. Some crashes, some news, unfortunately. For those fans of TT Racing in the Isle of Man and the Northwest 200, Davey Todd, who's an incredible rider, fell yesterday, got collected up with Josh Hayes, and then fell on his own later, apparently some kind of issue, something on the motorcycle that they didn't catch from the first crash. He crashed heavily, broke his leg.
Oh, man.
And I think he might, as we speak here in Halifax Hospital, getting that leg repaired, and hopefully he's healthy and ready to go for the Isle of Man later on
Holy cow.
this year. But that's a big blow for the Triumph fans out there. The second half of that team, Buzz, is, of course, Peter Hickman, who was fourth last year. Hickman was 10th fastest this morning, so he's made it to the time attack coming up this afternoon. So after you've wrapped up here with lunch and our podcast, should be a thrilling time attack through the 2 rounds of qualifying.
Yeah.
They take the fastest dozen and they fight it out to see who's going to be on the pole position. But it was a very interesting morning.
Yeah, I bet.
Comparing it to NASCAR, is it single bike qualifying, or are they in
No,
packs?
they ran 2 30-minute qualifying sessions this morning. Going back to yesterday, there are almost 50 riders entered in the 200 this year. They run a practice session with all 50 riders. They take the top half, the fastest half of the field. They go into Group A. The second half of the field goes into Group B, and then they're split for qualifying. So yesterday, the Group A riders went out first, then Group B. This morning, they reversed the order. The Group B riders were out first, and then the Group A riders the fastest. And that's where we've got our 12 riders who will qualify later on this afternoon to see who will be on the pole for the Daytona 200.
Who's the fastest so far?
Well, it's very close at the front. This morning it was the number 70 machine of Tyler Scott, a really talented young rider, racing for the M4 Suzuki squad. They've got a big new sponsor in 30D, and Tyler Scott might be 19, maybe 20 now, but he's an outstanding young rider. And for all the years that John Ulrich with Road Racing World has been coming here to Daytona, He's come so close so many times to winning the 200. Last year, his two riders were second and third, and they've got a shot. The other rider on that team, Richie Escalante, was fast, so they've got those 12 riders from this morning. Tyler Scott was quickest. Darren Binder, who's the brother of MotoGP rider and has raced Moto2 over in Europe, he was second fastest on a Ducati. And, of course, race fans will know the name Ray Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they were dominant in IndyCar racing, and a couple of years ago decided to go two wheels. And they've got a four-rider team, and all four of their riders, including four-time Daytona 200 winner Josh Herron, who's won it the last three times.
Jeez.
He's on the team, along with a rider you're going to be hearing a lot more about in DeMario. Young lady, Kayla
Really?
Yakov, made it into the top 12. She'll be in the time attack. Kayla has, was a petite 15, 16-year-old, very fast. She's grown up, and, boy, she had a pretty good run in qualifying this morning. Ended up sixth fastest. So she's got a shot at the pole. No woman has ever qualified on the pole. No woman's ever won the Daytona 200. So you'll have time this afternoon to not only catch that time attack qualifying, but also the three races in Twins Cup, in Super Hooligans, and in the Baggers. The Baggers were just qualifying when I had to hightail it out of the speedway to get over here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
Buzz, you and I chatted earlier this week when I was doing some volunteer work
Yes.
over at the Daytona NASCAR archives, and I just love doing that work, going back and looking at some of those old photographs and trying to recall the year and the race and the rider. But we had an absolute ball Monday and Tuesday doing that over there.
It's terrific. He comes down every year from Canada, spends a couple days at the archives, and there's stacks of motorcycle photos that nobody knows who these people are. He knows everybody, every bike, every rider.
Most of them. Some of them can stump you because when you go back, this is the 84th Daytona 200. You go back all those years, and I came here in 74 for the first time, but of course, right around here is where it all started in 37 on the
right
beach.
behind us.
Before it moved to the Speedway in 1961. So I've been to the Speedway for most of the races on the racetrack there. That has certainly changed over the years, and I think it'll be a great race tomorrow afternoon. But lots going on in Daytona this week. Short track was last night. They've got the second night of the short track racing. I think yesterday the Alligator Enduro ran out at the Tomoka Forest. And if you're a motorcyclist, there's no better place to be in the world during Bike Week here at Daytona.
Especially with the nice weather.
Oh, the weather's been incredible for any of the folks from the northern part of the United States, the New England area, and certainly up in Ontario and Quebec. We've had an awful winter. So to get out of the snow and the sub-zero temperatures to come down here and have this, I almost want to extend my vacation another week and not have to go back.
Yeah, I'll be darned. But you had a pretty good time there Monday and Tuesday at the archives, huh?
Yeah, brought back some really good memories for sure.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
of course, last year did it with my announcing partner Richard Chambers, who we sadly lost in November, but was honored to be a part of the plaque that was unveiled on Wednesday out at the monument.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
That's going to be a centerpiece of a brand new wall section that's going to be going up. You're going to see some new bills there at the Daytona 200 monument. I see Al Charles and Christy Clanford are among the live audience here.
Yes, indeed.
At the North Turn.
All right.
And they have done an incredible job of carrying on what Christy's dad, Bev Clanford, and her mom, Bev, started back in 2002. It was the 24th Gathering of Champions. Next year, we're going to hit that milestone 25th. So if you've never been out to the Daytona 200 monument. It's right downtown there beside the Hilton, right on the beach.
Yeah, right by the band shell.
Yep. On a day where you're down to that part of Daytona, take a stroll there and read some of the plaques and look at the incredible history and heritage that's based right here in Daytona. And then yesterday morning, we were at it again with the Over the Hill Gang breakfast. And those breakfasts, gathering all the old racers and families and friends and crew, started back in Ohio at Dick Clampett's place there at Honda Hills. And he decided when he had the vision to have the monument that they'd have that breakfast the day after the monument event on the Wednesday. And it was just over here on US 1 at the Eagles Lodge. We had a good crowd out.
Yep.
And we must have spent a full hour just reminiscing with racers who ran on the beach, ran in the early years at the Speedway.
No kidding.
But everybody's got their own wonderful Daytona Bike Week story, whether that was racing, whether that's coming down here and riding your motorcycle. And there's a young gentleman that some of the folks here might know by the name of Doc Batslier, and his wife
I
Maria.
don't see him today.
Oh,
here.
there's Doc here. Doc's usually here.
Yep, usually.
And he told us the story about how he met his wife here at Daytona during Bike Week. So,
yep. Yeah, they're quite a pair.
Everyone's got their own unique Daytona story.
That's for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's but the Isle of Man, I can't even imagine what that's like to run that. I mean, that guy's got brass gonads.
Well, Peter Hickman, one of the winningest riders in the history of the Isle of Man TT. I have got all of the respect in the world for those riders. And Hickman, of course, as we said, finished fourth last year. And he'll be back there again this year, probably running multiple classes again. And that's on my bucket list. I've never had the chance to get over there for the Isle of Man.
Oh, boy, wouldn't that be something?
Sometime in the next couple of years, I got to get over there. In fact, a good friend of mine, Dan Kruger, who's helping out Peter, we're going to have a little chat about trying to get a trip to the Isle of Man organized over the next couple of days. But Hickman was right there, 10th fastest this morning. He's going to be in the time attack. Unfortunately, after turning his 10th fastest time, he put it on the ground in turn number 1, tucked the front end that must have been going over 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
Going back into the infield, and he was okay. The bike's banged up, but I'm sure they'll have that fixed and repaired. And, you know, he is one of 12 that have got a shot at the pole position for the Daytona 200 this afternoon.
Now, what kind of money can the winner of the Daytona 200 make? Is there any idea?
Well, they have increased the purse where the winner this year walks away with $50,000. Second, if you're on the podium, is $30,000. And third place, I believe, is $20,000. So they have upped the purse for this year, and I believe they pay all the way back to 30th position.
Oh, really?
So,
so
you
there's
know,
there's some folks that are going to run that won't get paid.
Well, if you're beyond the top 30, you won't get paid.
Yeah.
You'll have lots of bills to pay, but you won't get paid.
But just the prestige of running at Daytona, that's got to be the ultimate for all these guys.
Oh, absolutely. To be a Daytona 200 champion is something very, very special. It really does, you know, give you some legacy in your racing career.
Oh, yeah.
And out at the monument where they've got the plaques for each one of the Daytona 200 winners over the years, including the big centerpiece that has the names and the years they won of all of the riders who won right here on the old beach course up until 1960. But it's an interesting year and some records that could be broken. There's never been a 4-time Daytona consecutive winner.
Really?
Josh Herring has got a chance to do that on the number 2 Ray Hall Ducati. He also has a chance because he won his first Daytona 200 about a little over 10 years ago, but has won the last 3 23, 24, and 25. He's going to try to tie Scott Russell, who's a 5-time winner, Mr. Daytona.
Yeah.
And Miguel Duhamel, who also won 5 times in the Daytona 200. So tomorrow afternoon, we could have 3 5-time Daytona winners.
Wow.
And the other guy, unfortunately, does not have a ride this year. That is Danny Eslick.
Oh, really?
Who is a 4-time winner. And Danny, hopefully for next year, somebody can put a good ride to bike together for Danny Eslick. I think he's still fast enough, could win it. He's tried the last few years, has had some tough luck. So
is he very old?
Danny would be in his mid-30s, I'm guessing, off the top of my head. And he's still very fast, as he's proven the last time, he ran here in the 200. But in addition to some of those veteran riders like a Heron who's got 4 wins, you've got some very talented young riders. We mentioned Kayla Yakov. Tyler Scott is an incredible rider. Young rider who won the Twins Championship, DeMario. He had a good run this morning, ended up running 5th fastest. So he's got a shot at grabbing the pole position, Alessandro DeMario. So
that's great.
Every one of those riders has his own unique story and his long and winding road here to Daytona this weekend.
Yeah, really.
What's the age ranges for the 200?
Well, I think legally you've got to be 16. I think the youngest rider we've got in there is a 17-year-old.
Jeez.
Yeah, but and then they range all the way up to, I think the AMA doesn't allow you after age 60 to ride. But we've had riders, Arthur Kowitz, when he was 68 years of age, when it wasn't Moto America back then, it was the ASRA CCS organization and the late Kevin Elliott. That put on the races then, and Arthur did start and I think ended up finishing somewhere around 40th that year. And I saw him at the Monument earlier this week. Still in great shape. I'm sure he has the capability to run 200 miles, but
that's amazing.
Unfortunately, he'll be one of the spectators.
Yeah.
But Buzz and Tony, lots going on this week at Daytona, including something that's very, very special to me, because I was just a young kid and a race fan back in 1976. So it was my 3rd year here at Daytona, the very first Superbike race in 1976. And as much as we've had some incredible finishes in the Daytona 200, that first Superbike race was a 13-lap, 50-mile race. BMW built a bunch of R90S Superbikes that were absolute rocket ships. I think stock that motorcycle was about 60 horsepower, but through the magic of Udo Giedel and Todd Schuster, the 2 mechanics, they got it up to 100 horsepower.
Oh, boy.
And on that last lap, and I talked to Steve McLaughlin, who is the winner of that race, in an absolute photo finish. It looked like a Kentucky Derby photo finish. They were that close together. And as you know, typical, you don't want to be the lead rider coming out of the chicane on the last lap going to the checkered flag.
There you go.
And that's exactly where Reg Pridmore was. McLaughlin would not pass him through the infield on that last lap. And, of course, he was able to draft up on Pridmore. And just before the finish line and the late Duke Pennell with the checkered flag, he got the win. It was literally, once they looked at the photo finish camera, was 6 inches at the line.
Is that right?
So BMW has those 3 motorcycles that raced here 50 years ago in the very first Superbike race.
They're here.
They're here. They're on display in the fan zone. I had a chance to look at them yesterday. It looks like you're going back in a motorcycle time machine, and it's 1976, and those bikes are lining up. They have done an incredible job of preparing those motorcycles.
Yep. Well, we got to take a break.
Yep. Okay.
We'll be right back with Pat Gonsalves, everybody.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. At Beach Boys Embroidery and Tees, it's all about making you happy. Beach Boys Embroidery can customize your athletic golf apparel, caps, hats, badges, buttons, magnets, backpacks, bags, totes, clocks, watches, and of course, T-shirts. Sure, they're at 2033 South Ridgewood Avenue in South Daytona, and they're waiting for you to call now. 386-255-5880. Beach Boys Embroidery and Tees. Let Aloha Marine get you on the water with huge discounts on great brands like Bayliner, Carolina Skiff, Hurricane, Key West, and Regal. Pay as little as $169 a month with 10% down and approved credit. Don't wait. Get to Aloha Marine, 1700 North Nova Road, Holly Hill, Monday through Saturday. 47 years and always better than boat show prices. We're back from where it all began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. We thank everyone out there checking in, taking time out of your day to see what we're up to. And this segment's being brought to you locally by Staples on International Speedway Boulevard. Anything for the office, anything you can imagine they can do for you. That's for sure. And we're here with Pat Gonsalves. And, boy, talk about Mr. Motorcycle. It's incredible. Sunday, March 8th. You know what Sunday is? Sunday is the 90th anniversary of the first stock car race on the beach.
Wow.
And stock car racing really was born that day, 90 years ago this Sunday. So if you want to give it a moment of silence. But everything changed after that.
Was that the course up in the shores?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the old course. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then they brought the other course down in 48. And that's the one that we're most familiar with. Mm-hmm. And then in March of 37, they started the motorcycles. Mm-hmm. And they started originally, I believe, in Jacksonville, and then Savannah. Yeah. It was Savannah, and then they moved on down here. And then the rest is history. Ed Kretz won that first race.
On the Indian in 37, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was something.
How long was the race?
Oh, was it 100 miles?
And again, I'm not as familiar with the early years as I am from the early 70s right up till today, but I believe they had more than just the Daytona 200. There was a 100-mile race. There were races for junior riders and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I've seen video, I've seen photographs of those early years, and boy, do I have a lot of respect for the guys who would come out here and race. And it's funny, I was talking to somebody the other day, said if you were coming from the northern part of the United States, or some of the riders from Canada that would come down, including Billy Matthews, who won it a couple of times. He was very, very good friends with Dick Clamforth. It would be a 3 or 4 day ordeal. There were none of the big interstates to fly down here at 70 miles an hour. So it was a long trek to get down here. And
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, you hope the weather was good, and you hope they timed the tides coming in and out, that you weren't running through water at the end of the race. But as a bit of a motorcycle historian, I just absolutely love the history and heritage, and I think it's something we should celebrate every year we come back here as we hit the various milestones. Next year, the Daytona 200 Monument will celebrate its 25th. It'll be the 75th anniversary of Dick Clamforth's last of his 3 wins here on the beach in 1952.
Hey, that's great.
The guy who heads up Moto America, a guy by the name of Wayne Rainey, 1987 Daytona 200 winner, so it'll be the 40th anniversary of his win.
Nice.
And there was another guy, on a technicality, he won the Daytona 200, but the race was 100 miles that year because they split it into 2 100-mile legs because of concerns with the tires. And The first leg went, Steve Baker from Bellingham, Washington won the race, and the skies open, and they never got the second half. So
I'll be darned.
people will say, Steve Baker, you never won the Daytona 200. You won the Daytona 100. But I know Steve. I remember announcing his races when he was just coming up through the ranks, and he was an incredible rider, and I'm hoping that they'll bring him back here to Daytona 50 years later to celebrate that history and heritage back when a Yamaha TZ750 was the bike to ride. When you look at that era where Yamaha just totally dominated the Daytona 200.
Yeah. Is that about when Kenny Roberts was running?
Well, Roberts ran that. Of course, Roberts won in 78, and then him and Eddie Lawson had those really trick factory bikes. You could never get a straight answer as to what the displacement was on them. They said there were maybe 680, but they were absolute rocket ships. And, of course, Kenny won in 83 and 84. And then we're talking about the 50th anniversary of the first Superbike race. Well, the technology had moved ahead, so by 1985, they went to a Superbike class to decide the Daytona 200, and race fans would know a guy by the name of Freddie Spencer, who won that first Superbike race on a Honda. Fast Freddie Spencer. And he accomplished something that year, Buzz and Tony, we will never see again. The 250 Grand Prix International Lightweight class was still running. He won that on a V2 factory Honda that they had brought in. It was clearly the fastest of the 250s, and Freddie just split. And then he also won what had been the class for the Daytona 200. They called it Formula One, and he won that race as well on a 500cc Honda machine. So 3 wins for Freddie Spencer. And, of course, he would go on after that to Europe to win world championships. But Freddie is an incredible person, as well as one of the greatest riders the United States has ever produced.
Yep. Where was your first I can't talk today. Where was your first motorcycle race?
My first motorcycle race that I ever went to, as a kid or as an adult?
As a kid.
As a kid, and I'm sure everybody here has got that story, either their dad or their mom and dad or their uncle or somebody dragged them, whether it was a motorcycle race. If you're a stock car fan, they took you to that local short track, and that is where the seed of the love of the sport gets planted, and it develops and it grows over the years. So the first racetrack I ever went to, I think it was about 5 or 6 years old, was in a South American country called, it was British Guyana at the time. It's now Guyana.
I'll be darned.
And in World War II, the United States had built a takeoff and landing strip for B-29 bombers to go over to the African theater. So when the war was over, here's all this pavement runways. We'll just add a little S-bend, and lo and behold, you've got the South Dakota Circuit. I don't know how it got its name, but my father would take me to those motorcycle races, and then, there's no lights at the track. So on Saturday night, when, the guys had to repair and tune their motorcycles, he knew a bunch of the racers. They would come over to our house, and I can remember as a kid still seeing that kaleidoscope of colors on the exhaust pipes on Triumph 500s and Geleras and NSUs. So I think that's where my seed got planted. And then once I immigrated from there, got into owned a little 160 Ducati when I turned 16, and sort of got into the whole motorcycle thing and wanted to be an announcer. And then, lo and behold, I got hired at Mosport by the Canadian Road Racing Club to do my very first motorcycle race. And I tell you that year, and again, we're going back in the history books here, my very first year, I had to do a 24-hour motorcycle endurance race.
What?
24-hour motorcycle endurance. I didn't announce for 24 hours.
Okay.
I did the first few hours, got some sleep, came back, and we finished it. But the guy who won that race, he was the lead rider on a Kawasaki Z1 900, Yvonne Duhamel.
Oh, no kidding.
One of the absolute legends.
Wow.
And Yvonne, as much as his son Miguel won 5 times, Yvonne was fast, was never able to win that race. But
that's something.
He did win back-to-back 250 Grand Prix international lightweight races in 1968 and 69.
Yep.
And when BMW, and a tip of the announcer's cap to BMW for all the great things they're doing this year, celebrating the first Superbike race.
Yep.
But remember, they had the Battle of the Legends, bringing back all of the great riders.
Yeah.
Dick Mann,
Oh, boy.
Don Emdy was part of that. Yvonne Duhamel was part of that as well. And it was great to see Yvonne riding. Later on, I think he had a couple of bad crashes, and his wife
Said that's
read him the riot act. That was it. You got to stop racing. But
well, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back. We're waiting for Pat to come out of his shell.
Hey, let's go.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Racing's original North Turn is our broadcast headquarters. If you're looking for a good drink, great entertainment, and the best in food, they're right on the beach at Racing's original North Turn. Come on down to dinner tonight. Here are a couple of testimonials. These are actual testimonials from people who have enjoyed the North Turn. Been there many times, always great food and drinks, great location on the beach. And another, what a great experience. It's my new favorite restaurant in the Daytona Beach area, Racing's Original North Turn on South Atlantic Avenue. That's A1A in Ponce Inlet, about 3.2 miles south of the Dunlawton Bridge and A1A intersection. It's Racing's Original North Turn, a restaurant, museum, bar, gift shop, live music. That's Racing's North Turn. Racing's Original North Turn has been voted by you Best Beach Bar Top 10 year after year after year. We're back from where it all began. Racing's Original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim.
Well, thank you, everybody. We're back again with Mr.
Thanks for stopping by. I hope
There we go.
we brought back a few memories.
Mr. Pat Gonsalves here. We just, very interesting fellow. This guy right here in the blue shirt, check this out. We got a great story about him. But this segment's being brought to you locally by the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, voted one of the top 5 markets in the country by the USA Weekend. Visit our Shop Now network and our Shop Now at Daytona Flea and Farmers Market Facebook page for the latest in vendor tours. And would you tell everybody who that fellow was? What a great, great story.
Well, I'm sure everybody here joining us at the North Turn has got their Daytona stories, and want to give a shout out here to 82 years young Phil Lawson out of Columbia, South Carolina. Came here back in 1960.
Hey, Phil.
Phil was a 15-year-old kid and saw the last race here on the beach, and has been here almost every year. He saw the great Dick Mann win back-to-back in 1970 on the Honda and in 1971 on the BSA Rocket 3. And these are the kind of stories that we absolutely love to hear. We mentioned the Over the Hill Gang breakfast yesterday. Boy, some incredible stories. And Phil, thanks for sharing your Daytona memories.
Phil.
Well done.
Very good. Larry, you got a question for us, sir.
Yeah. All right, Pat, and thanks for being here. Just wondered, I watched more of the dirt racing, bike racing, coming from Flint, Michigan originally,
Yep.
We had Scotty Parker and Jay Springsteen and some of the best racers around on the dirt. Those guys didn't race the asphalt much, though. I mean, there's got to be quite a bit of difference in dirt racing and asphalt racing.
Well, I think flat track racing, back then, is a great primer, a great way to learn sliding the motorcycle control, throttle control, being able to turn the motorcycle. But I think that was a different era in racing. I mean, they used to have the old Grand National Championship where you had to do both. But I think we then moved to an era of specialization, and there was some crossover. Flat trackers going into road racing. I remember Jay Springsteen coming to Daytona and running with the super team. Chris Carr on the Harley-Davidson VR 1000. So those guys, I don't think Scotty Parker ever road race, but I was announcing a half mile up in Belleville, Ontario, and you knew who the kid was? This is many, many years ago. 16-year-old Scotty Parker came up there, and he just smoked the field.
Yeah, he was capable of doing that. He sure was.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Joe.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir, Larry. Who's best you ever saw?
On what kind of motorcycle?
Oh, the bigger the better.
Road racing, boy, it's really tough to narrow it down to just one. I don't think I could possibly do it. And here at Daytona, you've got Scott Russell, you've got Miguel Duhamel, got an incredible rider like Josh Herron, who's trying to break the record of consecutive wins, and a guy like Danny Eslick. But when I first started coming here, of course, you had all of the great European riders.
Oh, yeah.
You had Giacomo Agostini the first time he came over here in 1974. And that was the year that Yamaha introduced the Yamaha TZ700s. A bunch of the factory guys had those up to 750 cc's. But up until that era, American riders really totally dominated the Daytona 200, with the exception of Billy Matthews, who won a couple of times.
He was Canadian, wasn't he?
Yeah, in 41 and 40 and 51.
Uh-huh.
And Billy is the guy who prevented Dick Clamford from winning 4 in a row, because
Really?
Dick had won in 40.
Oh, that rascal.
Yeah. So So and then in terms of dirt track, Scotty Parker, because I had the chance to announce some of his races. Mostly I've done road racing, but I've done some flat tracks. There's a guy who's got his plaque up at the monument, Dave Despain.
Oh, boy.
He was one of the guys that influenced me. And Dave, I announced a flat track with him. And then one year, Dave and I announced the Daytona 200 together. And it was one of those Scott Russell, Miguel Duhamel, chicane to checkered flag finishes. And Dave still lives outside of Atlanta. An incredible voice, an incredible talent, not just for two wheels. That was his first love, but also did a ton of NASCAR and car racing. And likewise myself, I probably do more car race announcing now than I do motorcycles. But the motorcycle stuff, that's my first love. And boy, I look forward to coming down here to Daytona. We had a consecutive string going until COVID hit in 2021. There was no Daytona 200 that year. But, there was a race that year, but I couldn't get down because the border was closed. But as long as we've got our health, we'll continue to come back here, because this place is very, very special. And so are the riders who race, and all of the fans and crews and mechanics that and motorcyclists that come down here to be the celebration of motorcycling. That's Daytona.
Yep. These are really your high holy days, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. This is the highlight of the night for this guy.
Yeah. There was a fellow that used to come over to the archives when we were down on Blue Road. He'd come down and he'd park out in front and he'd knock on the door and come shuffling in. It was Jim Davis.
Jim Davis.
He lived to be 103 years old. And what an incredible person. He raced the board tracks back in the 20s.
Board track racer. They would drag him out every year to that Over the Hill Gang breakfast. And, I wasn't going to the breakfast then because I was announcing, but I can just imagine some of the stories from that era.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to my good friend Don Emdy.
Oh, yeah.
Next year, he'll celebrate the 55th anniversary of his 1972 win.
Really?
On a Mel Dennison Yamaha air-cooled 350. And Don and his dad Floyd won here on the beach in 48, the only father and son team to ever win the Daytona 200. And I'm hoping that Don will update his Daytona 200 book. It's I think right now it just goes to 2003.
Yeah.
And hopefully next year for the 85th Daytona 200, he'll find the time to update it. But he's been doing a lot of writing, different books. In fact, I think he's got a book that came out a few years ago talking about that Jim Davis era of the board track racers and whatnot.
Oh, I'd like to find that. But we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with Pat Gonsalves, everybody.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Daytona Flea and Farmers Market is still the one for great savings and the best variety. Whether you need flowers and trees for your home or you're looking for great prices on Daytona Beach souvenirs, the market is the place to go. The market features 1,000 booths, 2 air-conditioned malls, a restaurant, and 9 snack shacks. Hops Grill features gourmet burgers and garden blend salads. Treat yourself to a great variety of brat and hot dog creations at the Dog House, or enjoy a refreshing drink at the Seltzer Oasis. The market is open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and is 90% undercover, so you can shop rain or shine. There's never a charge for parking or admission. Enjoy our monthly classic car cruise-in on the first Saturday of every month, and garage sale weekend, the third weekend of every month. See all we have to offer at DaytonaFleaMarket.com or like us on Facebook. Discover Daytona's most unique shopping experience, the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, just a mile west of the Speedway. We're back from where it all began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone. We're coming down the home stretch here with Pat Gonsalves, and if you are looking for a place to stay here in Daytona, we've got the Homewood Suites by Hilton on Bill France Boulevard, right around the corner from the Speedway. They're a little backed up this week, but next week you should be able to get a place. Every room is a suite, and you have complimentary breakfast and complimentary happy hour. And it's just a really neat place, and its location's perfect, too. You could even make reservations for next year if you want, you know?
Yeah, and for a number of years, the Speedway would put myself and my announcing partner, Richard Chambers, over there. Was a less than 5 minutes to get to the announce booth in the morning. So that's great.
Richard Chambers, what a great guy.
Yeah, you know, as many of you know, we lost Richard last early November. He called me in early October to say I'm in hospital. I'm not doing well. I'm not going to get to Daytona in October. So it was a tragic loss. He's been a part of my Daytona 200 for decades, both, you know, doing dinners and announcing together. You know, the schedule during Bike Week has evolved and changed over the years, but at one point, Richard and I were announcing for 8 days.
Really?
Couple of days of ARMA, Championship, Cup Series, all of the AMA stuff, the Daytona 200. The only thing we didn't do was the Supercross.
Really?
And
I'll be darned.
It did my soul good earlier this week when on Wednesday they unveiled the plaque that's going to be part of that wall section at the monument.
Yeah.
It's going to be built in the months to come, and it'll get put in place for next year.
Oh, that's great.
When that wall section gets unveiled during the 25th anniversary of the Daytona 200 monument.
Yeah, that's quite a thing to see if you're up there by the band shell. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, and the other thing is as well, Buzz and Tony, At the Speedway tomorrow afternoon as part of the opening ceremonies, I believe it'll be around 12:40, is that artist Lee Bivens has been working on this beautiful painting of Richard holding his microphone, but also he raced 10 years in the Daytona 200.
Did he really?
Yeah, 9 times on a Yamaha TZ750 starting in 1976.
Holy cow.
And the first year it became a superbike race. He raced the Honda against Freddie Spencer.
Wow.
But that painting is just about done, except for the little top of the microphone. So part of the opening ceremonies, we've got a 1-minute tribute that they've asked me to write, and the cameras are going to be on this wonderful piece of artwork.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And artist Lee Bivens will put the finishing touches. But yeah, we had an incredible run of almost 4 decades. Had the chance to call some of the most incredible finishes at Daytona.
Wow.
Some of them, the rider was gone, and it was, on that last lap, nothing was really going to change. But we've also had 2 rider scraps that were photo finishes at the end, and we've had, 4, 6, 8 riders coming to the line at the end of
That's
57 laps.
Holy cow.
It was an honor to work with him, and we'll never forget our buddy, our brother, and our announcing partner.
Yep, he was quite a guy. He was up here with us.
He was on your radio show. He beat me to getting on your radio show and your podcast.
Yeah. Bill, you got a question for us, huh?
Sure. Nice to see you here. Your knowledge is exceptional. I have to put you right up on a par with our Mike Joy.
I worked with Mike. I've done, as I said, the MRN, the Motor Racing Network, back in the late 80s, early 90s, did get me to come and be one of the turn announcers. I worked with Mike Joy and Eli Gold and some of the greats of that era.
Some of the great names, sure. Now, NASCAR racing has sent you guys had some motorcycle racers, Buzz, Joe Weatherly, Paul Goldsmith, weren't they both motorcycle racers?
They sure were.
Yeah.
And nowadays there's Travis Pastrana, did I say that right?
Yep.
He's going to give it a whirl. So they kind of go hand in hand, except I've always felt roll bars in a big cage was a little bit easier than 2 wheels with people crashing into you.
Yeah.
Do you do motocross too? Because I come from the area where Southwick motocross is on the national tour.
That's in Massachusetts.
Yes, it is.
I have done some motocross. The very first Supercross race in Toronto was at our old football stadium, Exhibition Stadium, 1980. And you probably remember some of these riders. And I was doing the television coverage for that. And it absolutely poured that day. And the racetrack was quicksand. It was a mud bowl.
Yeah.
And the guy who won it, longtime motocross fans and supercross fans will know this name, Donnie Cantalupi. And Donnie,
there's a name to remember.
Donnie Cantalupi won the race. He was the last motorcycle moving on the racetrack. The mud was so deep that nobody could go anywhere.
The only name I can compare that with, Buzz, is Giacomo Giacomo.
Yeah, good old Jocko.
Okay. And let me leave you with this because, announcers are influenced by the announcers that came before them. And an announcer who's working this year, Kenny Abbott. Kenny used to be with the Jordan Suzuki team. Kenny has taken over from me. I decided it was time to retire from Daytona. Kenny's doing a great job. But there was a motocross announcer really in the early years out of California by the name of Larry Huffman.
Uh-oh.
He announced the Daytona Supercross here in the early years. So that first Supercross race in Toronto was sponsored by Molson. That's our biggest brewery in Canada. Molson Export was the big sponsor. So it was the Molson Export Supercross. And Huffman, who in his California style, because of the weather and everything else that was going on. The beer company was sponsoring it, came out with this line: the Molson Export Supercross, the mud, the blood, and the beer. And that is an absolute classic, and that one stuck in my mind. I've never used it, but Larry Huffman, who passed away a number of years ago, and when I came here as a race fan in 1974, the guy on the PA, I wish I had his baritone voice, was a guy by the name of Roxy Rockwood. And Roxy did it all. I think he did all the road races. He did all of the flat tracks. He had a super, super busy schedule, but he was the guy on the PA here at the Speedway.
Well, listen, thanks for being here and bringing your knowledge. It's nice to get another perspective other than the four wheels, but great to have you here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Bill. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with Pat Gonsalves, everyone.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing Radio Show. Welcome to Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. You're right in the middle of all the action. Daytona International Speedway, the airport, One Daytona, Florida's newest entertainment and retail destination, and of course, the world's most famous beach. You'll love our newly remodeled 1- and 2-bedroom suites, along with our popular King Studios. You won't need your full kitchen, as Homewood Suites Daytona serves up complimentary breakfast and evening social. It's like home away from home. Go to HomewoodDaytona.com for Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing Radio Show continues with your host, Buzz McKim.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Coming up on our last lap here, we're here with Pat Gonsalves, and we've talked about a history lesson. Holy cow, this is amazing. But the 5th annual Florida Short Track Racing Legends Reunion is on this coming Sunday. Next Sunday, March 15th. It's at the Roost at Crane Lakes in Port Orange. Doors open at 10 a.m. Tickets are $50, and you can send a check to the Florida Short Track Racing Legends Reunion at 810 Old Sugar Mill Road, Port Orange, 32129. Or you can call Zeta at 386-566-3539. That's 386-566-3539. 3539, and some of the folks that are getting the awards are some of the best in the short track history of Florida. We've got Bruce Lawrence, Robbie Yoakum, JT Peacock, Tony Casada, David Button, Bud McCauley, Don Robertson, Steve Whitener, Steve Moran, Dumont Smith, legendary name from way back, Tom Duckworth, Pete Willoughby, Sue Roan, and All Tech Raceway. So check that out next Sunday, the 15th. So, you know that Expo Park right there in Toronto? That's where Richard Petty ran his very first race.
Yeah, I heard, and they did run some stock car racing before the stadium got demolished down there, and other structures have gone up.
Yeah, that's amazing. Here, this icon of American society here, Americana, he started his first race in Canada. Go figure. But it was the first race after his 21st birthday, and that's the only reason why he started in Canada. Otherwise, he would have started in the States. Yeah, how about that? Now, have you ever been a four-wheel fan?
Oh yeah, in those early years, I started at Mo Sport, that's now Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, in 1973, and I was sort of known as the motorcycle guy. You sort of get labeled, but I did a little bit of car stuff. Speaking of Ray Hall, Bobby and Graham, of course, with their Superbike team, they've got 4 riders who are going to be running the Time Attack. Back then, Bobby Rahal was racing Formula Atlantics, and I can remember seeing a results of a practice session, I think it was. And what had happened, Rahal's car had broken down at Moss Corner, and rather than wait for a service vehicle or even thinking of walking back up to the pits, one of the other drivers had given him a tow back, but he was sitting on the side pod of this Formula Atlantic car. That's how he got back to the pits. And the race stewards had assessed them some kind of a crazy fine or penalty for doing that. And years ago, I ran into Bobby when he was racing at the IndyCar race in Toronto, and I had a photocopy of it, and I gave it to him. So he had a good laugh. But I announced IndyCar races in Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton for a number of years. And more recently, I've been doing, more car races at Mosport than motorcycle races, including the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship that runs there every year. NASCAR Canada, our NASCAR series up there, runs twice on the road course in May and on Labor Day. And I just love motorsports. I think I did one drag racing event, and I'm not a. It's just over too quickly. I like the concept. I like 57 laps of the Daytona 200 or a 10 or 12 lap sprint. But,
okay.
Yeah, it's interesting that gentleman was asking the question about motorcycle racers moving on to cars. I think that is sort of the arrow goes in that direction. Motorcycle racer gets into car racing. And one of the guys, Larry Pegram, if you know Larry, he's been racing the Michelin Pilot Series with his daughter. I don't think there are too many instances of an accomplished car racer deciding to go into motorcycles. I think they get used to the safety, the harness, and the roll cage, and all that stuff. But, we've had some incredible motorcycle racers move on to car racing, including the Dr. Valentino Rossi, who's been racing sports cars over in Europe, following his MotoGP career.
I'll be darned. Yeah, Bobby Rahal lives up outside of Jacksonville now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we're going to get him on the show. I got his phone number.
Okay, well, you ask him about that Atlantic race at Mosport where he got penalized by the stewards for sitting on the side pod of a Formula Atlantic car and going back to the pits.
Unkosher.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah. So, do you remember I don't know if I asked you this before or not. The greatest race you ever saw?
Oh boy,
because you've announced a bunch of them, haven't you?
Been so many of those. I'm just trying to think in terms of motorcycles. And you know what? I saw the video and I wish I'd called it, but that was the year I didn't get a chance to come here to Daytona. I think it was the year that Brandon Posh was involved in a 4-rider scrap coming out of the chicane. He was the 4th rider. I don't know how he did it. He came all the way from 4th, was able to draft past 3 of those riders and take his win. And, of course, he won in 21 and 22 before Josh Herron took over in 23 and has been unbeatable since then. So Brandon's at Daytona. He'll be racing Superbikes this year.
Really?
For the M4 Suzuki, X-Star Suzuki team, but unfortunately he doesn't have a ride in the Daytona 200 this year. But
now, how does something like that happen? Someone as good as that just fall through the cracks?
Yeah, well, they've got, that team has got 2 riders. I guess the budget was there to do 2 riders and not 3.
Yeah.
And but he's going to be a force in the Motor America Superbike Championship this year.
Very good.
And boy, if somebody said to me, who's going to win this year's Daytona 200? Boy, it is a roll of the dice. They're literally all 12 of those riders who are going to be running in the time attack this afternoon, and then maybe a couple others. All of those riders have got a shot, and I think tomorrow afternoon you're going to see a minimum of 12 riders in that lead draft, swapping positions all over the racetrack. Once they get into the pit stops, that tends to fall apart. And hopefully it's I think it's going to be a multi-rider finish, another classic from the chicane to the checkered flag.
Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Yeah, you're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah, I'll be a race fan, and nothing wrong with being a race fan. I started as a race fan here at Daytona, and had 4+ incredible decades of working with some of the most incredible people and announcing for some of the great race fans around the Speedway. And as I said, with my buddy Richard Chambers. But I mentioned Dave Despain, did a little bit of work with Chris Carter, the English announcer that we put out in the West Horseshoe on his scaffolding, and we were sort of the three amigos. And after you work with somebody for a while, Buzz, you don't even have to throw it to them. You just, through the inflection of your voice, you pick it up seamlessly. And you go to the next one.
Well, we want to thank you for coming by. I know it's a busy time for you, Pat. And we thank Danny and Mike for all their help, and Bill and Larry for the questions. And we thank all you for being here today. We thought it'd be kind of neat to get this guy here. He's done real well. He's not the wallflower he used to be.
No,
that's for sure. Pat Gonsalves, everybody.
Thanks, Buzz.
The Legends of Racing radio show originates live from the very spot where beach racing began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. Join us next time for the Legends of Racing radio.